another slice of my midlife dolly crisis. I should tell you before I start the video properly that we are currently in the middle of a bit of a heat wave. It's very warm here, so I'm trying not to sweat too much, which I know is a lovely thought there. But yes, it's very, very warm here in Ireland at the moment. I don't like it. I would rather it were autumn or at least a bit cooler. I'm sure I'll be moaning when it's raining, but at the moment I'm moaning because it's way too hot. So, in today's episode, I am going to be unboxing one of these. And we all know what this means. It means a brand new doll, and it's actually a very new doll because it was released this year in April, which is obviously a huge clue as to which doll it is. Ta-da! Zyanya remembers. Here she is. She looks amazing in her box, which is actually really beautifully designed. This pattern is just, I fell in love with the pattern automatically. The doll, when I first saw her, I was kind of, she looks interesting, but, you know, I wasn't going to get her. And then the more I saw of her, the more intrigued I got. There's a certain allure about her. I think because she's kind of mysterious, and with all the stock and everything, she does kind of look like, you know, people were saying she looks like a fortune teller, so there's that whole kind of Romany-esque kind of vibe about her. So I'm really interested to see what she is like out of the box. I'm also keeping my fingers crossed because I did watch an unboxing on Tammy Powley's channel, which is Craft Love and Dolls, and unfortunately her doll had some staining on the body because of the black outfit, which obviously is a huge disappointment. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that everything is okay with mine, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So please join me in unboxing her and seeing what she's like. So here is Zyanya Remembers in her box. As I said, the box is really nice. There's this really kind of cool design on it with crosses and hands and eyes, kind of mystical kind of stuff, I guess. And that goes all over the box. It's very pretty. It's also going to be on one part of her outfit as well, which I thought was really good. And I found her on Junie Moon, and she wasn't very expensive, so I thought I'd order her. It did take a while for it to arrive. Obviously, at the moment, we're still in the middle of issues with a certain you-know-what, so I think that's probably why it took longer than normal, because the doll had already been released at that point, so I'm presuming that maybe they had to shut down again, or you know, it was just kind of stranded a little bit. But yeah, obviously she's here safe and sound, and I'm very excited to get her open. So there is a bit of information about her. So obviously the writing on the back of here, I sadly can't read because I don't speak Japanese or any of the other languages on there. However, the kind of description is also a bit kind of mysterious. And basically it says, "I'm grateful to have met the people in my memories. The time I spent with all these people and love is my true treasure. I'll always cherish them." So it's kind of, it's a bit spooky and a bit kind of obscure, perhaps. But yeah, let's get her open and see her up close. So here is the doll. I haven't taken off plastic yet on her. I do have all of her stuff here, so maybe we'll have a quick look at that first. So she does come with some little earrings. Don't know if you can see those. Probably not. But yeah, so they are basically like little hearts, and they just slip into her pierced ears. I think the design is quite similar for most of them, in that they are attached by thread to the main part of the earring, and then there's kind of like a hoopy bit that kind of goes inside the head. But yeah, so they're quite cute. I actually thought they'd be bigger. I'm not sure why. This is her headband, or head decoration, I think, as they're calling it. So it has Velcro, which attaches it there. It also has a bit of Velcro on that side. Again, I think similarly to Candy Carnival's hat, I think that is supposed to make it possibly stick to the head better so it doesn't move around so much. We have these little shoes, which are actually very cute. They are... You can't see that. Okay, so maybe you can see them there. So they're quite detailed. They've got like a brown sole and they have like buckles on the side. Obviously they're plastic and they are all in one. But yeah, they are quite detailed. You can see the details of the buckles and of the straps going across. There's also a bit at the back, which is obviously meant to be the loopy bit that goes in the back of boots a lot. So yeah, they look pretty cute. We have the doll stand. So this is a black one, which I think is unusual. From what people have spoken about, the black ones are quite rare, if not this might be the first one. It does say on here 2021, so maybe that is the first black one. And then this is kind of like the over dress, which again features that really cool pattern that the box had. All over that, and that kind of just goes, her arms go through here, and it kind of sits around her a bit like a kind of pinafore dress, I guess. And then yes, here she is. I haven't removed any plastic yet. I'm probably going to do that now. So her hair feels quite greasy already, which is kind of just one of the things you have to accept, I think, at the moment, unfortunately. This peels off, I think. There we go, that's that off. And then these you just pull off. And then you pray that the hair isn't completely manky, and it's probably awful, actually. So yeah, a lot of people seem to, unfortunately, you have to kind of accept that when you get a new doll, the hair is not going to be great, just because of the way it is. I'm presuming that the hair is oily, because obviously if it's going to be in storage for a while, when it's kind of produced and then, you know, put away, maybe the oil helps the hair not dry out or go brittle or something. I honestly don't know. It's sad. It is really sad when you pay quite a lot of money for a doll and the hair immediately needs to be washed when you get it. It's just a bit... Ugh. It's not nice. It is not nice. That said, she's very pretty, and the hair colour is actually not that dissimilar to her skin colour. So the skin colour is meant to be, I think it's latte, which to me is not that dark. A latte is a very milky drink, for anyone who's ever had a latte. So it's obviously not like... It isn't a very dark colour, basically, is what I'm saying. Let's have a look at her eyes. So, these are green eyes. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that properly or not. Then we have some pink eyes. We have some blue eyes. And then we have some very kind of dazzly amber eyes there. Hi. So it's actually been a few days since I last filmed. Basically, I stopped the video and decided to give her hair a brush. I then brushed it again and again and again and again, and eventually it did actually start to look a lot better than it did. So I'm not too concerned about the hair now. I feel less stressed by it. It is still quite... It is oily. It is an oily hair, but it's not quite as sticky and horrible. It seems to, I guess brushing it has helped probably move the oil around so it's evenly covered. That said, I think I am going to have to give her a dolly spa. So if anyone has any tips on that, please drop a link or your suggestions down below. I have watched a few videos about hair spas, but I'm always a bit confused because a lot of the time they're American and I'm not sure, is dishwashing detergent washing up liquid or is it what you would put into a dishwasher? I'm not sure. But yeah, I also know that some people have washed their doll's hair with human shampoo. Just to verify, that is actually shampoo that people use and not made from humans. So yeah, any suggestions, I'm very happy to hear them. So yeah, so I took her dress off as well, only because I was worried that I might ruin it by constantly brushing the hair and everything. And I did notice that on her arm, there are a few black marks here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that at all. I might take a photo and slip that into the video later. I think if I hadn't known there was a possibility of that, it would have been worse. But then again, I might not have been looking for it. I might not have noticed it so much. It's kind of in her inner arm. So I'm not really going to see it. There is some irony, of course, with this, in that because of the outfit that she was wearing, because remember she came in the dress as well. This is under it, which is a little kind of crop top thing, which is beautifully made, as you can see. I presume this is meant to protect the doll from the stainage. Now, obviously it's not worked in this instance. As I said, there's some irony in this, in that with other dolls that I've bought and unboxed, they tend to have plastic on their arms. But I guess because of the outfit she was wearing, that was not going to be possible, because it's quite tight on the arms, I suppose, so they couldn't put plastic on it, maybe. It just seems a bit of a shame that this wasn't really thought out as much. So anyway, yeah, she has the stainage on the inner arm. Again, I'm open to any suggestions about how to remove this stainage. I know that pimple cream is something that can be used. But yeah, anyone have any suggestions, I'm happy to hear them, or any kind of links to videos or whatever about that. So yeah, so here she is. I haven't actually taken her tights off yet, so maybe I'm going to remove those now. So she does also have pants on as well, which it seems a bit like overkill to me. But I don't tend to put pants on my dolls, and I know that a lot of people are going to be very upset by that, but I just don't bother. It seems silly, especially if they're going to have other clothes on top. But yeah, okay, so these are going to be... Her legs actually feel a lot more rubbery than they normally do. Maybe it's just because of the tights on them. I don't know. There we go. So here she is in her undies. And yeah, so the face is, I believe, called Latte, as I might mention before. So it does match the body really well. Let's see if her legs click. Ooh, that doesn't seem to want to do it, which is another bit of a worry. Let's see. Okay, so that one is okay. This one seems to have a bit of an odd angle to it, so maybe the doll is actually just cursed. Who knows? So yeah, so there she is. She can click her legs. I'm going to clip them back actually, because no matter her leg will drop off. But what I thought it might be interesting to do was to compare skin tone to some other dolls. So, as I say, she's meant to be Latte. I do have, obviously, I have Kit, who is here. So, obviously, there's a marked difference here because Kit is a lot darker. I do also have a fake doll here. So, she's called Dunaway. And she is meant to be tanned. So that is actually quite a close comparison, at least from where I'm sitting. I don't know if it's going to if it's going to show on camera, but yeah, I think that's actually pretty close, sort of skin tone wise. Maybe it's kind of a slightly different hue, I think, on them. But yeah, I think certainly body. Colour wise it kind of works. So obviously she's definitely darker than a very kind of white, or as they sometimes refer to it as, normal skin tone for Blythe. I do have here, I do have Fairchild with me. So her skin tone is considered fair. So obviously there's a big difference here as well with their complexion colour. I quite like the Latte. I think it works. I know there's been some discussion about maybe she should have been a bit darker. I guess we're kind of lucky that there's any variation in skin tone, as it doesn't seem to have been a huge thing with the Blythe dolls. I know there are a few different tones, but they tend to stick with the fairer, whiter ones. Obviously, I know that we are finally getting a actual black doll with 20 Years of Love, which is amazing. I mean, it's great. It's just a shame that it's taken that long for that to happen. But yeah, so the Latte is actually quite a nice tone, I think. Also, I don't know if I showed you, but she does actually have her nails painted as well. So here she is, almost fully dressed. I will pop her little overdress on shortly. As of recording this, the doll is still available on Junie Moon. I undenied about buying her. She was in my basket for about a week or so before I kind of plucked up the courage to actually get her. The one thing that did actually drive me to get her was actually the Russian entry for Eurovision this year by Manisha. She kind of reminded me of her. I think it's probably the big sort of headgear and probably the dress and everything. But yeah, I am happy I got her despite everything. Yeah, so I'm going to pop this on her and I will see you in a second. So here she is in her full regalia, looking magnificent. This sort of little overdress thing was a bit of a struggle to get on, I have to admit. Because she has sort of the lace ruffle bits on her sleeves, on the top of her sleeves, like sleeve caps. The gold strap was really hard to get over them. I got them in the end. I'm hoping I've done this right. I'm presuming. I did have a look at some pictures and this seemed to be the way that it was put on, but it is quite tight. But yeah, she looks great with all of her stuck on. I am really pleased that I have her, despite some of the annoyances of her as well. But yeah, she's not going to have the dress on for too long. So remember, if you have any tips for how to do a hair spa or how to get dye out of the clothes, please drop them down in the comments below. It's been great to be here again, and I hope if you like it, you'll give it a like. I hope you comment about anything else, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Yeah, so until the next time, take care and see you soon. Bye bye.